So now, Jason Smith, House Ways and Means Chairman, with me now. And sir, good morning to you. I want to read a statement that David Spunt got from Abby Lowell, who's Hunter Biden's attorney. Late last night, this is what he said. He said the transcripts of witnesses who have been called to date, including Hunter's, makes it obvious that there is nothing left to ask, answer, say, or do. Now that Hunter has put this partisan conspiracy to the lie that it is on the record and under oath, this political charade should finally come to an end. That line about nothing left to ask, answer, say, or do. Now, Republicans are talking about the next phase, and the next phase might be a public hearing. Are they going to resist that, do you believe, based on that statement?
I think they're going to continue to resist. Bill, they've been doing that the whole time. That is what's leading us to a lot of obstruction in the investigation. We've been asking for emails from Hunter Biden, from Joe Biden. We've been asking for numerous documents, and we still have not received those to this day. But what Hunter Biden did yesterday, Bill, was just protecting the brand. The brand is what they've been selling for tens of millions of dollars across the world, and the brand is Joe Biden.
Okay, can you guarantee today that there will be a public hearing on this?
I can't guarantee because that public hearing will come out of oversight or judiciary, but I will tell you that the plan all along has been to do these depositions and then to have a public testimony so the American people can see everything.
All right, Hunter Biden said the hearing went great.
Well, Hunter Biden would think that the hearing went great because he stayed on the company line, and that was protecting the brand. But let me tell you, those two IRS whistleblowers provided numerous examples of evidence, including a WhatsApp message that said he was sitting next to his father when he was sending it to a Chinese business official demanding money. And guess what? 9 days later, $5 million showed up. There were 327 different emails that Joe Biden had with Hunter Biden and his business associates that the IRS whistleblowers provided. Plus, we had numerous business associates of Hunter Biden that has testified about his involvement. In fact, one of them said he was not just a participant, he was an enabler in the entire process. So the Biden family has been staying to one tune, and that is to protect the brand.
Okay, so on that WhatsApp message, just to paraphrase, just that I'm sitting here with my dad, I want the money wired now. Now, what he told you, however, is that he was either drunk or high or maybe both, and that his dad wasn't even in the room. And I don't think you can prove that his dad was there. Does that matter?
You know, the IRS whistleblowers tried to do geo-tracing of that cell phone back during the investigation, and they were denied anything that could lead to the presence of Joe Biden, and they were even denied asking any questions of Joe Biden. That's what the Justice Department obstructed throughout the process, according to the IRS whistleblowers. We need to find that out. But, I mean, the excuses to say you're drunk or high or you don't recall, it's very similar to his father not being charged criminally because he's not mentally fit.
So my question was, does it matter whether you can prove the president was in his presence or not? And, you know, based on your previous answer, you think you have the financial records to show that these exchanges happened. So maybe in the end, that's a moot point. Let me read part of his statement from yesterday. I did not involve my father in my business. Not while I was a practicing lawyer, not my investments or transactions, domestic or international, not as a board member, and not as an artist, never. Can you prove that that statement is a lie?
The IRS whistleblowers prove that that statement is a lie. They prove on numerous accounts where Joe Biden met with Hunter Biden and his business associates in the White House, on trips to other countries, at the Four Seasons in Washington, D.C. There's numerous examples. So what they said is completely counter what the whistleblowers have said. Plus, you had Tony Bobulinski said that he sat down with Joe Biden in 2017, named the time, place, and location, and he spoke for more than 45 minutes discussing the relationship with the Chinese energy company. The only people that are denying everything are the ones with the last name Biden.
No, okay, sir, I appreciate your time. Last night on Sean Hannity's show, you gave this an 8 out of 10. What two were missing then? Why not a 10 out of 10 if you thought it went so great?
I would say if he completely answered all the questions, it would have went a whole lot great. But, you know, when people don't want to tell the truth, they say, I cannot recall. And I cannot recall was named numerous times with Hunter Biden.
Okay, numerous times. Is that dozens or more?
More than dozen.
Okay. Jason Smith, we'll wait till the transcript is made public. Appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for coming on.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.